me tell you about a friend. It's Craig LeBlanc where the good times never end. Talking Parks and Rec, it's a show you gotta know. Welcome one and all to the Daily Parks and Rec Show. It's the Daily Parks and Rec Show.
There's people who don't realize that like Parks and Rec is not just like your typical athletics and stuff like that. Like we have like performing arts, we have visual arts, we have aquatics, we have gymnastics, we have senior services. You know, someone who like really wants to like assist in, for example, in Broadway, you know, we can take those skills as well and put them in like a community level.
Welcome back to the Daily Parks and Rec Show, live from the 2025 GRPA conference. In this episode, we're joined by Veronica Duarte, someone who brings creativity, courage, and community spirit to Cobb County as Arts Program Coordinator. From overcoming introversion to leading galleries, classes, and events at the Mabel House Arts Center, Veronica shares how the arts are transforming local parks and recreation. We dive into her journey as a painter, performer, and now podcast host for Cobb County Parks. Plus, we explore how her team is using short-form video, community storytelling, and cross-city collaboration to engage thousands. Stick around. This is a conversation that shows just how powerful the arts can be in parks and recreation. Let's dive in.
All right, Craig LeBlanc again with the Daily Parks and Rec Show. I've got my partner in crime here from Cobb County. She's been helping me behind the stage, run this whole show. So what are your thoughts so far about this? Is your first ever GRPA convention?
That is correct. Yes. So this is my first event. My thoughts so far, I am digging deep inside of me to pull out the extrovert, but that's okay. This is what this is for. I knew what I was getting myself into: networking, meeting new people, exploring, talking more. That's the exciting part about these kinds of events and conferences.
So naturally you consider yourself an introvert, correct?
Correct. But I think you would think I'm an extrovert a little bit.
Yes.
Just because of like how expressive I can be. And I get that.
So on the introvert side, was you more artistic, or did you do a lot of, how did that express itself when you were young?
Absolutely. Yeah. So I was a lot more artistic. I'm a painter, I'm an artist. But definitely that extrovert side came out when I started performing arts. So I'm a singer as well. So, with that, you have to know how to like switch it, turn it on, turn it off, know how to be in front of a crowd, know, all those cues and picking up like when to get the room, awake, all that fun stuff. Yeah.
When did you start singing?
So I started singing around 8th grade, but officially like in high school in the 10th grade. I went to a magnet school program and they had like the whole performing arts like fully fleshed. So
And so what did you sing? Just like theater or any type of genre of music?
We were classically trained specifically, but there were some fun times where we did Latin, we did musical theater. Sometimes we threw in some fun pop contemporary stuff.
Okay. Yeah. You still do any of that today?
I do actually. Yeah. So I'm actually in a Christian contemporary band. One of the singers there, and we just have service every Sunday. And last month we had like a praise and worship night and did all that, the whole shabam. All
right. So what are the tricks of the trade when you're getting nervous, and what do you do to kind of flip that switch?
Honestly, you just kind of have to go with the flow. Like, how Dory says, just keep swimming. Like, literally, like just fake it till you'll make it. Like, that's what the saying is. Like, like you just act like you got everything together and like no one else will know. Like, I think, how they say, like, you're your biggest enemy. So,
that's it. Yeah, confidence is key. If you look like it, you know what you're doing. It doesn't matter that you don't. No one else will know.
Exactly.
That's it. All right. So what do you do in Parks and Recreation?
Yeah. So with Parks and Rec, it's actually not performative at all. It's a lot more administrative work. So I'm an arts program coordinator at the Mabel House Arts Center with Cobb County. And so at the Mabel House, I oversee the adult and youth programming. So that includes like our weekly sessions and our workshops, which are like once a month type things, and then our special events throughout the year. And then on top of that, I also oversee all of the galleries that we have going on. So my role is also like reaching out to community artists and like making sure, we have everything we need to have their artwork displayed on our walls and all that fun stuff. So yeah.
Now, what do they have planned for Cobb County? I think are y'all trying to also figure out, so what do we do with regards to social media, podcasting, videoing, kind of where are y'all at?
Yeah, that's a great question. So, we are trying to get into a lot more with like short videos. So, like TikTok's pretty popular right now. Reels are up there too. So we've been touching base on that and like taking current trendy things that are going on and like converting that and flipping it with Parks and Recreational program. And then we're also like touching base into podcasting as well. So I'm actually hosting the Cobb County Parks podcast. And we just like take the microphone, take the video camera out to the public and like ask them questions like, what brought you out to this event? What do you like? And just fun stuff like that. Just reaching as many people as we can.
And so what's the equipment that y'all use? Are we just using like, because I know it's so easy now to just bring these new smartphones that can pretty much do everything start to finish, and then you're ready to go. Is that kind of what y'all use?
Exactly. Yeah. We do phones, like your actual cell phone. We do phones. We also done like actual video cameras. I'll be honest, I don't know what brand and what kind it is.
It's working.
But it's working.
Right. Now, how about some of the software? Do y'all have any kind of type of editing software, or CapCut or Adobe Suite or something like that?
Yeah, we love CapCut. Here and there, we use Canva to do like
digital
wording and all of that fun stuff. And I want to say like iMovie is one of them as well for like the video portions of it. But we're still in the beginner stages of the whole podcast here. That's kind of why I'm here collaborating with Craig. Trying to learn more, trying to be the same level that you are.
Well, there's that third leg of content creating. So you've got your story, you've got your audience. Okay. Then you go out and you capture it, and that's kind of your hardware. And what do we do to capture it? And then we talked about how you can use Canva and that stuff to edit it. But now let's talk about the distribution, which, okay, so we have it, we made it, it's ready to go. How do y'all get the message out? Tell us maybe how y'all are thinking about, or how y'all use Instagram, TikTok, or Facebook. How do you engage your audience? Let's talk about that distribution component.
Yeah, absolutely. So, Cobb County is very lucky that we're already a big county. So with that, we have other facilities, like sister facilities, who we can share the content that we create for them to repost. Because, with Cobb County, we have like Outer Springs, we have Mableton, we have Marietta, we have Smyrna, and Austin, all these other cities within it. So, there's like cities who aren't aware of a certain facility in another county, in another city, And they're like, okay, yeah, I didn't know they did, for example, Whoops and Whiskers. That's a pet fashion show that we host. They're like, I didn't know Parks did that. So I would love to see that. So we share our videos, our flyers, and all that through our other facilities. And they help us get the word out through email, through Instagram, through Facebook, newsletter blasts, all that fun stuff.
Fantastic. Okay, so I love now. What did you study in school?
Yeah, so I went to Georgia State University and I studied studio art, specifically a concentration in painting and textiles.
And so, how did Parks and Rec come on your radar as a career path?
Yeah. So those are two completely different things because, I went to school thinking like, okay, I'm going to look more into like just gallery based jobs or like being a self upbringing artist. But I started a summer job while I was in university, and I started as a summer camp counselor at the facility that I'm at. And the facility, Maple House Arts Center, focuses on visual arts and performing arts, which are two things that I have on my back pocket. So I was like, you know what? I can use my skills this way. And like, as a summer camp counselor, I was teaching at the time. So I was like teaching ages 8 to 10-year-olds. And I fell in love with that. Like I liked being able to share what I know to them at an affordable price. And so with that, I really liked the community because it was the city that I lived in. I was like, I wish I knew this was here when I was growing up. So now knowing that I can make a difference with that, I would like to, pursue this more. So after this seasonal position ended, because we have like a few months to work with the county with that, there was a part-time position that opened, and then I was like, I'm gonna go for it, and I got lucky, I got it.
Fantastic.
Yeah.
Yeah, because there really are so many different skills needed to run a Parks and Rec department. It's not just the coaches and the staff and
Exactly.
maybe even like the maintenance part, but like yourself, someone that's in, performing arts. There's a position for you in Parks and Rec.
Exactly.
So with that being said, we made a little video for why people should consider, especially young college kids should consider Parks and Recreation as a career path. So I want to play that real quick and get your comments on it.
Okay.
Every career is a choice, but few careers let you touch lives. Not once in a while, but every single day. Step into a park on a Saturday morning. You'll hear children laughing on the soccer field, families gathering for a picnic, seniors walking the trails, finding health and friendship. And behind every smile, every memory, is a Parks and Rec professional. We don't just mow fields, we grow confidence in young athletes. We don't just build playgrounds, we create safe spaces where childhood thrives. We don't just plan events, we design moments that anchor generations. Think of the coach who teaches patience, the director who champions equity, the staff member who sees potential in a child no one else believed in. Every day, Parks and Rec professionals shape character, preserve beauty, and strengthen community. And the path isn't easy. Budgets are tight, resources stretched thin, but the reward, unmatched. Because what you give comes back in legacy, in healthier communities, in lives forever changed. So why dedicate your life to Parks and Recreation? Because here, your work never ends. It lives on, in laughter echoing across playgrounds, in green spaces preserved for the next century, in the young professionals rising to lead tomorrow. This is not just a career, it's a calling, it's a legacy, it's Parks and Recreation. A message from the Parks and Rec community.
All right, Veronica, what's your take on that?
Yeah, I mean, that's a powerful message. And like what you said earlier before we started the video, like spoke volumes. Like there's people who don't realize that like Parks and Rec is not just like your typical athletics and stuff like that. Like we have like performing arts, we have visual arts, we have aquatics, we have gymnastics, we have senior services. And like, someone who like really wants to like assist in, for example, in Broadway, we can take those skills as well and put them in like a community level. Like you can make that big of an impact as well, but for people who are near you, closer to you, right in your hometown. Like you could be also like working with the board of commissioners, like, those same tech people who help, like, for example, with the theater camps, can also help with, setting up the mics, the lighting for our board of commissioners. Like it's really important, the work that we do. And it's not just like green space and playgrounds.
Yeah.
It's more,
Yeah, fantastic. Okay, so the next one we wanted to play was on essential services. And I don't think you were in Parks and Rec during COVID, right?
I was not.
So let me tell you what happened. They started shutting everything down. The whole country started to shut down. But what did they leave open? Well, if you're an essential service, then we'll let you keep coming to work, still have funding. And Parks and Rec, unfortunately, many times was not on that list. And as they started to shut them down, they were like, oh my gosh, our Parks and Rec is super valuable and it is very essential. And so now we're doing our part to help reframe that conversation. And so they asked us to create a video to that end. And so we made this video so that it could be played in front of elected officials that have control over budgets, so that this would be the new starting point of the conversation. So I'll play that and get your take on it.
When we talk about essential services, what comes to mind? Police, firefighters, healthcare. But there's another essential service, often overlooked, yet always present. Parks and recreation. Parks and Rec is health. It's the walking trail that lowers blood pressure, the recreation center where seniors fight isolation, the swim lessons that prevent tragedy before it happens. This isn't a luxury, it's a lifeline. Parks and Rec is safety. A playground instead of a street corner, a basketball court instead of trouble, a summer camp where every child belongs. It's not just about activity, it's about protection, prevention, and possibility. Parks and Rec is community, the festival that brings neighbors together, the cultural event that teaches respect and diversity, the open space where a city breathes. It builds bridges where division once stood. It gives people a reason to gather, to connect, to care. And Parks and Rec is economics. It strengthens property values. It drives tourism through events and trails. It saves on healthcare costs. Every dollar invested multiplies, feeding back into schools, into safety, into growth. Essential service is not just about survival, it's about thriving. And Parks and Recreation is where thriving begins. In wellness, in equity, in culture, and in joy. Parks and Rec isn't extra, it's essential. For our health, for our safety, for our communities, for our future. A message from the Parks and Recreation community.
All right. So what's your take on that?
Well, I completely agree with that. When COVID hit, we had a lot of people like come out and say like they were dealing with a lot of like mental health issues and, not being able to have that community connection when the whole shutdown happened. Like, that's completely understandable. Like, you're taking an opportunity to like connect with other people away. And like, for example, in my art center, the Mabel House, we've had people who say like, oh yeah, I just come to class because of my peers. And like that speaks volumes. Like, they're building like this like tight bond with each other through pottery or through painting, or in other cases through like sports and all that fun stuff. So yeah.
Yeah, fantastic. Well, I appreciate you coming on to the show today, and thank you so much for helping us out throughout the week. And hopefully we can get you some good experience so that maybe y'all can continue to launch y'all's podcast over at Cobb County, and then let us know if there's anything we can do to help y'all make it, produce it. I'm here for y'all as a resource and be glad to help y'all do whatever y'all need.
Thank you so much for that. And thank you for having me. I'm excited to be here.
Fantastic. Great job, Veronica.
Thanks.
You. Bye.
Are you a vendor, brand, or service provider ready to connect with the heartbeat of local communities? At DPRS Media Co., we tell the stories shaping parks and recreation across America. Through podcasts, live streams, videos, and newsletters, we reach frontline leaders, city directors, and decision makers every single week. From youth sports and facilities to programming and policy, our audience is your audience. Sponsoring or partnering with DPRS Media Co. puts your brand in front of the professionals who build, budget, and buy for their communities. Launching a new product, growing your presence in public spaces, targeting cities, counties, or departments, DPRS is your trusted media partner. Whether you're in software, turf, aquatics, robotics, smart cities, or special events, partnering with DPRS puts your brand in the story. With commercials, interviews, social campaigns, newsletters, and live shows, we're your media team. Partner with us and grow your impact in the $200 billion parks and rec industry. DPRS Media Co. Stories that move parks and rec forward. Your audience is here. Let's meet them.